Hi, hello, good evening. Welcome back to National AS Academy. Dear friends, my name is Raj Shekhar and today we are meeting here again for the 17th time. So far in our previous 16 classes, we have covered 160 most important topics which are highly relevant for the upcoming UPSC Civil Services Examination Prelims, which shall be held on 28th of May 2023. Alright, so here too, once again, we shall be covering next 10 most important topics from prelims perspective. Here we have got wonderful topics today. All of them are related to current affairs context, but have some core subject backing. So this is how UPSC usually is framing questions. Whenever there is a news or there is a current affair, that shall be directly linked to the course subject and the question shall be framed on the course subject. So that is where the aspirants get confused usually. See, what they feel is if there is a question from polity, they feel that UPSC examiner or the question paper setter has particularly gone into Lakshmikant or has referred to some polity books and from there he has framed questions. But it is not like that. See, if you closely observe, nearly 70 to 80 questions have current affairs context. Yes, I am repeating. Nearly 70 to 80 questions have current affairs context and all of them will be in news in past 1 or 1.5 years. So from there the examiner is actually picking up the scent or the context is from there. Yes, of course, but based on that context subject related question would be formed. So this is how the trend is changing. Like for example, the first topic is about Vostro Accounts. See, basically it's an economics concept. It should be economy core related concept or core concept. It comes under banking, but the context was pretty simple. Recently what happened, Russia has opened 20 banks. Russia has opened 20 special Vostro accounts with partner banks in India. Why? Because see, India's currency is rupee, whereas Russia's currency is ruble. So it becomes really difficult when it comes to trade among its citizens who are residing in India. So I'll explain the concept, don't worry, but understand the context that recently 20 Russian banks have been established. 20 Russian banks have established special rupee Vostro accounts with partner banks in India. Alright, so this is the objective is to facilitate the settlement of rupee payments for trade between India and Russia. So let us understand with the help of a case study. See, there are two banks. One is ABC Bank and the other bank is Citibank. ABC Bank is located in India and Citibank is located in Russia. These two are different entities and they are nowhere related. So Citibank is run by Russia and ABC Bank is run by India. But the citizens of India are continuously trading in goods and services with the citizens of Russia. Right? Let us assume that if person A from India sells a computer to a person B who is residing in Russia. Alright. But this person B, he can only make, since he is residing in Russia, he can only make payments in ruble, which is Russia's local currency. Right? Understand this concept? It's pretty simple. So since he is residing in Russia, he can make payments only in ruble. But this person A has nothing to do with ruble. He wants money in in the form of rupees. But that is one thing. So that is currency differentiation or currency difference is one thing. Second thing, this person who is residing in the person B who is residing in Russia can only deposit with those banks who are available in Russia. Just imagine depositing in this bank, in Citibank. How can person A withdraw from Citibank, because Citibank has no accounts in ABC Bank, which is in India, which is far away. So I'll repeat. There are two persons A and B. Person A wants to sell a computer to person B who is residing in Russia. Yes, person B is also interested in buying this computer, but unfortunately he can only pay the amount in terms of ruble, which is Russia's local currency, and he has only Citibank as the existing bank in Russia, and this transaction has to take place between Citibank and ABC Bank because person A has his account in ABC Bank. Here comes the challenge, because these two banks do not operate interchangeably, or there is no interoperation between these two banks. So to avoid this problem or to address this challenge, these Vostro accounts are being opened. So in simple terms, Vostro accounts or Nostro accounts are the accounts between banks. Please remember this word. The person A cannot go and open a Vostro account in ABC Bank, or he can open a Nostro account in Citibank. It is not related to individuals, but rather it is related to banks themselves. Only banks can open Nostro accounts or Vostro accounts in another bank. Right? Here what happens if in case ABC Bank opens account in dollar Nostro account for it, but ABC Bank Vostro account for Citibank. So if account is being opened by ABC Bank, then it becomes Nostro account for which bank? ABC Bank. See, the account is same, but the nomenclature differs. We can say that we can call it as point of view, POV, which is famous these days. We can call this the same account as POV. With respect to one POV, that becomes Nostro account, and with respect to another POV, that becomes Vostro account. Okay, if suppose ABC Bank opens a account in Citibank, then that becomes Nostro account for ABC Bank, and the same account becomes Vostro account for Citibank. Getting the point? It is the same account number, same PIN, same everything. But the same account is called as Nostro account for ABC Bank and Vostro account for Citibank. If the same case is reversed, if suppose Citibank comes to India and opens an account in ABC Bank, then that becomes Nostro account for whom? For Citibank. And the same account, the account opened by Citibank in ABC Bank, becomes Vostro account for ABC Bank. This is the main difference, nothing else. Alright, I hope you have understood. If not, just go back and listen to this concept once again. It's pretty simple. The same account is called as first statement. This opening of account related to Nostro or Vostro takes place only between banks. This is first point. Second point, the same account is called as Nostro from one perspective and Vostro from another bank's perspective. When a bank opens another account in a bank which is located in another country, so for that first bank it becomes Nostro account, and for the second bank it becomes Vostro account. So these are the two main differences. Understood? Okay. Next we have bulk drug park. So in the year 2020, the government of India announced this bulk drug park scheme, under which bulk drug parks would be established in 3 states, namely Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. These 3 states would be getting bulk drug parks. But before that, what do you mean by a bulk drug? See friends, bulk drugs are nothing but active pharmaceutical ingredients. They are also called as APIs. Bulk drug means they are active pharmaceutical ingredients. What are active pharmaceutical ingredients? It's pretty simple. Suppose, let's say you're taking a tablet which is known as paracetamol for fever. So this tablet as a whole is not medicine. It carries some carriers, and along with it carries the main drug, that is bulk drug, that is active pharmaceutical ingredient. Only this API can cure your fever, right? But that medicine alone cannot be given to any person or any living being. So it needs to have some sort of carriers. So API along with other products becomes a complete medicine or tablet. Understood? So bulk drug means not bulk in volume. They are APIs, active pharmaceutical ingredients. Right? A scheme related to this bulk drug park was announced in the year 2020 with a 3,000 crore rupee investment by the government of India for the promotion of bulk drugs in India, and the three states are Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, and Andhra Pradesh. Alright, under this scheme, the center shall be providing financial support to three states so that they can create bulk drug parks. These parks will be built as part of the plan that will be having shared infrastructure facilities in one location, resulting in the development of strong ecosystem for bulk drug manufacturers in India. Alright, so it will have a world-class common infrastructure to be developed in the park, and 70% of the project cost or rupees 1000 crore, which is maximum, shall be shared by the center. Right. So, like I said, a bulk drug, also called as an active pharmaceutical ingredient, it is the key ingredient of a drug or a medicine, and this API lends the desired therapeutic effect or produces the intended pharmacological activity. Alright, so this is about bulk drug. Next we have unicorn and decacorn. So what do you mean by unicorn or decacorn? See, these are those startups which have entered two clubs. One is 1 billion club and the other one is 10 billion club. Those companies which have entered 1 billion club are called as unicorns, whereas those companies which have entered 10 billion clubs are called as decacorns. And first decacorn to come up in India was Facebook. So these are all startups. Initially, they started as small startups with lack of funding or without much investment. But gradually, as they start going, they'll start attracting investments from domestic investors as well as international investors. Right. So, first unicorn in India. There are two facts. First unicorn in India is in Mobi. Just remember. Right, you should be aware of these unicorns or decacorns, because if not in prelims, at least in mains you can utilize these facts, or even worst case in interview too, you can utilize these facts to support your statements, to justify your statements. Like you can show that you have complete knowledge about related to a particular topic. A topic becomes comprehensive or holistic, or sense of completeness is achieved only when you justify your statements with the help of examples or case studies. Alright. So first unicorn in India was in Mobi, and the first decacorn in India was Facebook. And recently, after the acquisition of Flipkart by American giant Walmart, it also entered the club of Decacorn. Right? So basically, the phrase unicorn is in the business refers to a private company, frequently or mostly startups, having a stock worth of over $1 billion, not rupees, $1 billion. And in the business sector, the phrase unicorn is relatively new. It was first used in 2013 by L&D. Alright. So next we have Decacorn, which are the businesses which are valued over $10 billion. Alright. So Decacorn, and likewise we have something called as Hectocorn for those businesses which are valued over $100 billion. Right. So India has of late been experiencing wonderful growth with respect to the startup market or funding, and according to the recent report, Bangalore has emerged as a top one destination to attract funding for startups. So after Bengaluru, we had Mumbai, and third place was Gurugram. So top three investment destinations in India with respect to startup funding were these three places. First one is Bengaluru, second one is Mumbai, and third one is Gurugram. Right? And which was the 100th unicorn in India? It is Physics Wala. Right? Okay. Next we have an article related to Nipun. What does Nipun stand for? See, firstly, please understand that it's a part of National Education Policy 2020. As part of this, Nipun initiative has been launched. Nipun stands for National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy. Right. So initial target was 2025, but the target has been extended to 2026 and 2027 now. The basic objective is to meet the educational needs of kids between ages 3 and 9. Please understand, Nipun Bharat or Nipun India is an initiative under the new education policy 2020, and it includes it stands for National Initiative for Proficiency in Reading with Understanding and Numeracy. Eligibility, it is applicable to those to the needs of those children who are aged between 3 and 9. Alright, so what does this Nipun initiative seek to do? See, it seeks to help children reach their full potential and take the nation to new heights. It is intended to support and inspire kids as well as their schools, instructors, parents and communities, because the initiative knows that nothing can be done alone. Just by training students or bringing in the initiatives or yojanas from students' perspective or aimed at students would not be helpful at all. So if a child has to improve in a holistic way, there is the need for involvement of instructors, schools, parents as well as communities. Only then can a child improve completely. So with this in mind, the Nipun initiative seeks to bring all these stakeholders onto one platform. So the target now is by 2026 and 2027, the aim is to ensure that every kid in the nation has attained fundamental literacy and numeracy skills by the end of 3rd grade. That is, by the end of 9 years, a small kid should be able to read, solve basic maths problems. So this is the basic objective, and remember the target, it is by 2026 and 2027. Alright, so mechanism, how is it implemented? See, a five-tier implementation mechanism will be set up at the national, state, district, block and school levels in all states and union territories for the mission. Funding, as far as funding is concerned, money is being allocated from Samagra Shiksha scheme, which saw a 20% drop in the budget in 2021. So what is Samagra Shiksha scheme? So it was launched by subsuming 3 existing schemes, that is Sarva Shiksha Abhiyana, Rashtriya Madhyamik Shiksha Abhiyana and Teacher Education. These 3 schemes have been subsumed to form the Samagra Shiksha program. The aim of this scheme is to treat school education holistically from preschool to class 12th, and as a part of this, Nipun initiative is being implemented now. Right. Next one is about surrogacy. Surrogacy means renting a womb. Renting a womb. What does it stand for? See, basically, when a couple cannot have a child of their own, they can rent a womb. So it becomes they'll have to go for a woman who is ready to rent her womb for the birth of a child belonging to these parents, original parents. But related to this surrogacy, various nuisances have been happening in India in past 10 years, because it has been misused like anything. Like, for the sake of money, many middlemen came and went on to reach women in villages and women who were in need of money. They used to rent their room, and they would promise that once the birth has taken place, they would be rewarded. But as soon as the woman gives birth, these middlemen escape, and those couples who had rented the room, even they would go unconnected or absconding. So to prevent such incidents from happening, what the government of India from time to time has brought surrogacy rules and also Surrogacy Act. Right. So basically, surrogacy means one woman carrying and giving birth to a kid with the purpose of latter giving it to the intended parents. This is known as surrogacy or surrogate. And the woman who is carrying the burden of giving birth to a kid is called as a surrogate mother. So surrogate mother is one who is carrying and giving birth to a kid with the purpose of latter giving it to the intended parents. Right? See, one more thing you should keep in mind is commercial surrogacy is completely banned and is illegal in India. Commercial surrogacy is not at all allowed in India. Such treatments are permitted for charitable purposes exclusively and come with a number of legal constraints on the applicant. So this was in news because of this particular thing, that is Surrogacy Regulation Act of 2021. The basic objective was, it was introduced to curb unethical practices related to issues such as sex selection and exploitation of surrogate mothers, with provisions for jail term in case of violations. Basically, under the act, a couple can opt for surrogacy only in certain cases, that is only on medical grounds, and should produce eligible certificates, meaning they are infertile or the original mother is unable to carry the womb or go for pregnancy. So once such documents or proofs are produced, only then can a surrogate mother opt for giving birth. Also, the couple who are willing to go for surrogacy or willing to take the help of a surrogate mother should have been married for at least 5 years and should not have a living child. This is the main requirement. Also, the surrogate mother has to be a close relative of the couple, a married woman with a child of her own and aged between 25 to 35. These are important points. A surrogate mother should be aged between 25 to 35, should be married and should be having her own child, and should be a close relative to the couple who are willing to go for surrogacy. Alright? But surprisingly, the law also allows a single woman to go for surrogacy, but she has to be a widow or a divorcee aged between 35 to 45. And please remember, single men are not eligible for surrogacy. Right? These are some of the important rules related to surrogacy. And next one is about first global report on assistive technology. Recently, a report was released. The report does not become so much important, but what becomes important is assistive technology. What is assistive technology? Right? Just remember that at the inaugural global report on assistive technology was released by two entities, big entities. Who were they? One is World Health Organization and the second one is United Nations Children's Fund, that is UNICEF. The question might not be directly related to the findings of this particular report, but rather the question can be related to those institutions which are involved in the preparation of this report or who have released this report. So if the context is first global report on assistive technology, which is in short called as GREAT, then please remember this report has been released by two institutions. One is the World Health Organization and the second one is United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF. So the report was released on the 71st World Assembly, the 71st World Health Assembly resolution in 2018 decided to compile a global report on efficient access to assistive technology. So the seeds of this report were sown way back in 2018 during the 71st World Health Assembly's resolution. Right? Just know the basic finding. It says 90% of the people who use assistive technology do not have access to it internationally, and because integrating assistive technology into health systems is essential to achieving the sustainable development goals linked to universal health coverage targets. What then is assistive technology? So please remember, basically it's an item, a piece of equipment or a software program or even a product system that is used to help people with disabilities. What is it? Assistive technologies are there to help those people who are there with the disabilities. It is there to help disabled people. It might be any item, a piece of equipment, or it might even be a software program or even a product system. So this can be a potential question. Please remember, the question might be like this: which of the following is or are considered as assistive technologies? So in that case, if the question contains software program, then please mark it as the right option. So along with any item, piece of equipment, even software technologies too can be termed as assistive technologies. So based on the recent report, over 2.5 billion individuals worldwide require one or more assistive items such as wheelchairs or hearing aids. Wheelchairs, hearing aids, or crutches, all of them fall under this category, assistive technologies. As the name itself suggests, these are there to assist them, assist the individuals, right? The report also says that 1 billion of people are actually denied access, particularly in low and middle income countries, right? So, according to the 2011 census, the number of people with disabilities account for 2.21% of the overall population in India. And as per the National Sample Survey, 21.8% of people with disabilities have received government assistance, while 1.8% received assistance from other organizations, because so many international or national non-governmental organizations too are working in this regard, right? Next one is about child adoption. The context was the Supreme Court has accepted to examine a request to streamline India's legal procedure for adopting children, and which is the institution that is related to that is concerned with the child adoption in India? CARA. It's a statutory body. Please comment in the comment box the full form of CARA. What does CARA stand for? What is the full form of CARA? Right? So, adoption regulations were published in the year 2021, and these rules, adoption regulations 2021, these regulations have given the Indian diplomatic missions abroad the authority to look after adopted children whose parents relocated to another country within 2 years of adoption. So it becomes the responsibility of Indian diplomatic missions what? To look after the adopted children whose parents have been relocated to another country within 2 years of adoption. This does not apply if there is the relocation taking place after the completion of 2 years, right? These are some basic facts. Next is about disqualification of MP. There are one too many facts concerned with the disqualification of MPs. Major among them is Article 102 of the Indian Constitution. What does it say? It says under certain circumstances a person is prohibited from running for office and serving as a member of parliament according to the law. And what does that circumstance mean? It means if he has a position of profit in the union or state government other than the ministerial position, because ministerial position is not called as the office of profit. It does not amount to the office of profit. Apart from the ministry or the position of MP MLA, if the candidate is having a profit in the union or state government, then that is termed as office of profit, and in that case that particular MP or MLA becomes ineligible. So under Article 102, MP becomes ineligible and is disqualified. Alright. Apart from this, MP can also be disqualified if a judge has determined that he is mentally incompetent. Also, if he is an unsolved insolvent, which means he has taken a loan and he is unable to repay it back. So even in that case, MP becomes disqualified. Also, if the person is not an Indian citizen or has chosen to become a citizen of another country or has pledged allegiance to another country or is otherwise ineligible under a law passed by whom? Passed by the Parliament of India. So in all these circumstances, MP can be disqualified, right? So Article 102(1) clause A says that a person shall be disqualified from being a member of either house of the Parliament if he holds any office of profit among other grounds. Please remember, house of Parliament, either house of Parliament, which means it is applicable to Lok Sabha MPs as well as Rajya Sabha MPs. So what about Article 103? It says, if a question arises whether a member has incurred such disqualification, it shall be referred to the President's decision, and the President shall obtain the Election Commission's opinion and act accordingly. Likewise, Article 191 clause 1, it contains a similar provision for MLAs and MLCs in the state. Right. Next is about defamation. See, defamation can be both civil as well as criminal. Why was it in news? Because Rahul Gandhi, the head of Congress party, recently filed a petition with the Bombay High Court asking for the dismissal of lawsuit brought against him. Because of this, he was disqualified from being an MP. So he said it is a harm to a person's reputation brought on by a false statement. Rahul Gandhi had made some absurd statement with respect to some particular word or community. So based on that, a petition was filed, and as a result, he was later disqualified. Now, what do you mean by defamation? If anyone who feels that they have been falsely accused of something by another person, majorly in public, whether through spoken words, written words, or by inference, they can file a defamation lawsuit in a court of law, claiming that the false charge has damaged their reputation. Alright, so fundamentally, defamation must meet few criteria. First thing is the declaration or the statement must be made in public, both in written as well as oral form. Also, the comment must be demeaning to the individual, harmful to the reputation as the target of allegations. So only once these two criteria or these two conditions are met can a person file a defamation lawsuit in a court of law against any individual in the country. Right? Section 499 and 500 of the IPC travel beyond the Article 19 Clause 2, which impose restrictions constricting freedom of speech beyond the reasonable limit envisaged by the Constitution of India. So here, the purpose of Article 19 Clause 2, please remember, was not meant to put such unreasonable restrictions as provided under Section 499 and 500 IPC. Because Section 19 Clause 2 imposes reasonable restrictions on the usage of your fundamental rights. Here, liberty and free speech, even though not absolute, have their own significance, and those voices which are critical of certain government actions cannot be gagged at all. So this is with respect to defamation. And at last we have National Family Health Survey 5. The findings of National Family Health Survey once again have been released. So I have already in detail explained about NFHS in previous classes. If anyone can remember, can you please tell me in which class I have discussed about NFHS, that is National Family Health Survey? So see, basically NFHS is an extensive multi-round survey that is carried out in a representative sample of Indian households. Right? The International Institute for Population Science in Mumbai has been recognized by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare as the focal organization for providing coordination and technical guidance for the survey. IIPS basically works in conjunction with a number of field organizations to implement these surveys. So as per the latest findings, percentage of women between 18 to 49 years who experienced domestic violence is maximum in Haryana. It is 18.2%. It was 32% in the previous survey. Haryana is followed by Punjab and Chandigarh. Alright. The findings of the survey say that nearly 88.7% married women participate in the household decisions. It was 84% in NFHS. So prominence is being given to women in day-to-day activities. And apart from that, 43.3% women own a house or a land alone or jointly. 38.4% women own a house or land alone or jointly in the previous survey. Next, 78.6% have a bank or a savings account that they themselves operate, 53% in the previous study. So 53% people, women had bank accounts in the previous survey. Now it is 78.6%. Also, according to NFHS 4 findings, 45.9% had mobile phones that they themselves used. But this percentage has gone up to 54% now, which means 54% in women, 54% women in India, both from rural as well as urban areas, own mobile phones. This is good, but when you look at the other side, 46% of women still do not have access to mobile phones. They'll have to depend on their husbands or their children to make a phone call or get in touch with anyone, maybe relative or family friends. Alright, so this is about the findings of NFHS 5th survey. Alright, thank you so much for joining. I hope today's class has been really helpful. If you find it helpful, please do not forget to like and hit the subscribe button, and also if possible share with your friends who are also preparing for the civil services examination. Thank you so much for joining. See you in the next class. Take care. Bye bye.